So once again, everyone, welcome to this saying goodbye to stress session. Thank you so much for being here. I am delighted that we get the opportunity to share this time together, especially for such an amazing, such an important topic that we get to visit today, which is of paramount importance for your well-being now and for the foreseeable future, of course. As most of you know me, my name is Mars Molina, and I will give you some information about myself. I will introduce myself in just a moment, not only because I want you to, I guess, remember who I am, but also for some of you who may know me as a yoga teacher, who may know me personally, who may know me as this or as that. And I really want you to get a perhaps a bigger picture of some of the different dimensions that I have visited in my life that are ultimately resulting in this workshop and in upcoming ideas that we have to share with you and many, many more people. So welcome. Welcome to this session. Can you all hear me okay? Can you all see me okay? Yes? All right, amazing. Okay, so let's see. Can you all see my presentation? Can you all see the words on my screen? Is that visible to all of you? All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So we are here to be able to reduce our stress, to manage our stress differently and to and that has a long lasting effect. We want to do this without medicine, without allopathic medicine, and we want to do this also without having to do any unnecessary diets. We want to do this with an immediate effect, and we want to do this no matter how much stress or tension we may be experiencing. Why don't you go ahead and open your cameras for me? I want to see who I'm talking to. I have some people there that I don't know. I haven't seen you in a long time. So feel free to please open your camera so I can see you, so we can have this conversation together. I will love nothing more than that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So as I said, when I invited you to this workshop, just for you joining with us today, if you stay at the end of the workshop, you're going to get an amazing present. You're going to get an amazing gift, which I am really excited to share with all of you as well. So this session is for you. Like I say, if you are ready, if you are willing to make changes for your life, if you're willing to take a new level of responsibility for your life moving forward. This session is also for you if you are prepared to accept that perhaps the methodology that you have used for your well-being needs to be looked at. Perhaps you have tried some things. Maybe you've already tried Reiki, I don't know. But this session is for you also if you are aware that it is your mindset, the one that can make or break these benefits for you. This session is also for you if you are a person that wants to make these changes, no matter your circumstance. If you are still in that mode where you believe that your circumstances dictate your life, that means that this session will not be the best benefit for you. Because this session, these teachings, these practices are for people who want to take strong responsibility for their lives. And that's all I am about. As I am happy that you're here and we get to share this time together. So my name is Mars Molina. And what I do is that I help people. I bring health back to people in all their dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetical, and beyond. What I do is that I make people create lifestyle changes and I challenge the mentality of people. I challenge their mindset through the breathing practices, through the yoga, and through other tools so that we can create that possibility of healing and then going into expansion, as I say. Of course, I'm a yoga teacher. I have 12 years of experience and I have specialized myself in therapeutic yoga. I've also specialized myself and I have world-class certification, which I'll touch, briefly. I am also Latin America's coordinator of specialized yoga anatomy study and specialized yoga anatomy courses. University due to my, I guess the only way I can say it, my performance during these years studying yoga. So I want to tell you a bit about what we're doing here. I want to tell you a bit about my story. And this picture that I'm putting up here This is an old picture of myself. Like I said, I've been doing yoga for about 12 years. I've been dedicating my life for this for 12 years. This picture is maybe about 15 years ago. This picture is during that time of crisis where my life was completely in darkness, completely in a different state. Here, there are many things that you can possibly discern about this picture. I wasn't even sure about putting this picture on the session, but it came up to me, during those Facebook memory thingies. Have you ever had that when you look at your Facebook memories and you're like, oh yeah, that was a good time. Yes, I remember when I was like this, like that. And every now and then you get a picture, maybe from an old job, an old outfit, an old haircut, an old ex, who knows? And sometimes you look at them and you're like, oh wow, was that me? This was one of those pictures for me. During a very important, critical moment in my life, where sure enough, I was on a beach trip with my friends. I was drinking so much, I was smoking so much. My diet was non-existent. Here you can see my limbs are extremely thin, and I have a little bit of a belly. It's not about the belly; it's about what the belly was for. Even though I had a little bit of a belly, it was all just bloated. I am 1 meter 71 centimeters high. I have no idea how much that is on feet. If anyone can translate that to American for me, I'd appreciate it. But a man of my stature, weighing how much I weighed back then, is literally malnourished. And I was definitely malnourished because I weighed 50 kilo at this period of my life. 50 kilo malnourished physically, mentally, emotionally. I was in bankrupt in every single dimension of my life except money. I had my car, I had my apartment, I had a girlfriend at the time, I had a job, and I was climbing up the, thank you, Sarah, 5'7". I hope I'm saying that right. I was, going higher in the corporate ladder, but I was suffering from extreme anxiety and depression. Like I said, deep darkness from the sequence of many traumatic experiences that I will not go into much detail, but I had some really negative encounters with the law. I had some really terrible high-speed accidents that nearly cost me my life and that cost the life of people who were very close to me. I had more than 30 surgeries that were not having the best results in my well-being. I had my entire mouth, my entire mandible had to be broken down and restored. I had many other things, as well as injuries and traumatic experiences that really challenged me. I had suicidal thoughts, and I was in a state of complete dismay, complete darkness. But this is the past, I should say. I have been able to recover my health in each and every single dimension. But not just that. It's not just about recovery, like I said. It's also about finding a direction to go further, to go beyond. So I want to say something about when I started teaching yoga. I don't think there are any pictures of that period, but when I started teaching yoga, when I was already in my journey of recovery, I was actually walking still with a walking stick, with a cane, because of a hip injury that I had. But today I'm here. I'm heavier than ever. I'm stronger than ever. Somehow I'm better looking, even though I was a very handsome man. But this methodology, these practices going beyond the yoga, have allowed me to influence my personal and professional life incredibly. And I want to tell you more about how it helped me survive those 32 surgeries, transcend the limitations and the trauma that I had experienced to become who I am today, and to overcome even the effects of these life-threatening circumstances that I saw myself in repeatedly in my younger years. You have a possibility to come out. And sure enough, I want to show you these practices, but it's very important that you remember that these practices are only meant to show that human possibility. Yoga, the intelligence that we give these practices are not anything exceptional. They're ordinary. They're supposed to bring out your latent human ability to recover and then transcend. That was the case for me. This is what happened for me, and this is what I teach. This is what I've been teaching for a number of years, and this is what I want to share with you today. So let's not forget that possibility. Let's not forget that power and move forward with it. Does that sound exciting? So how did it come out of it? How did I come out of this period of time? These challenges that I was facing. I think the presentation might be a little bit slow, maybe some internet thing, but I know you're out there and I'm here. So if ever you feel disconnected, just take a deep breath and open up to that connection so that we can be together. So how do you think I overcame all of this? The answer is, of course, through yoga. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you next time. No, of course, I'm kidding. I want to tell you, of course, specifically how I did it. But of course, yoga is the main thing. But perhaps not the yoga that we understand, or perhaps not the way that people think about yoga. I discovered, and I'll tell you more about this, what yoga can actually mean for people. And it's all about awareness. It's all about the breath, and it's all about willpower. So today, what I do is that I literally travel the world. I work with communities from I use the Vedic astrology. I use my own vision and my skills that I have. I have what I've learned from the Kashmir Shaivism, what I've learned from different sorts of therapies, even somatic therapies, what I've learned from Ayurveda, what I've learned from Vedanta. And I go from place to place teaching people how to, like I said, recover their health. This is why some people call to me some type of mentor, some type of coach, some type of counselor or advisor or a healer. But really, what I do is that I allow you to see what it is that you are doing that is not allowing you to be in that state of wellness, into that state of harmony, which is not just your possibility, but I would say even your birthright. Now, how we are going to learn this today, how we are learning today this methodology to be well, to be healthy. I want to teach you something that I like to call PMA, not to be confused with PMS. And I also want to teach you about the three-step process through which we can achieve this present moment awareness. Like I said, this workshop is all about stress as well. So you will learn also about this. Now, PMA stands for present moment awareness. You're going to learn what it truly means to be in this awareness and what it can be used for. You will enter this present moment awareness easily today. And you will learn, like I said, this three-step process that is so incredibly easy to practice that you will literally run out of excuses not to practice your own presence, which is your own possibility. Doesn't it sound nice? Wouldn't it be nice to be in your own presence for a change? And you will notice how being in this present moment awareness grants you immediate benefits, as it does for me, as it has done for my community for a number of years, and as I'm sure it can be as well for you. Does that sound good to you? Write the number one in the chat. Write in the chat right now, number one, if that sounds interesting to you. I'm sure it's an exciting proposal. So about this benefits of the present moment awareness, you need to understand something of what it means to be in the mind and what it means to be in process. Now, I want to ask you how much you know about your mind. How much do you really know about your mind? Do you really have a relationship with your mind? Your mind is with you from the moment you are born to the moment you will die. Not even when you're sleeping is your mind at rest, right? Because you're dreaming. I want to know if you are aware that your mind is either going. Someone said, me and my mind have some conflicts, right? Oh, I have some people in the waiting room, everyone. They're knocking on the door. Oh, I think they're in. I think they're in. Okay. So fair enough, a lot of people feel that conflict with the mind. The mind and nature, right? So many things. But also But also there's that possibility of that mental calm that is absolutely achievable. Tell me if you are aware or not that your mind constantly moves to the future or to the past. Yes or no? Have you become aware of this? Let me also ask you this. Are you aware that your mind is constantly showing you images, visual, imagination? Are you aware that your mind is constantly talking to you, having conversations with you? Have you noticed this? Perhaps a voice kind of sounds like your voice. Hey, don't forget that you need to grab the keys because then you need to go to the place, and don't forget you need to charge your phone because if you don't, you need to go like this, like that. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure you have all felt that. So your mind works in words, it works in images, and it has a tendency to go to the past or to the future. This is not a bad thing. These are just what I call behaviors of the mind. The mind, therefore, has no possibility to be active like that in the present. When you are in the present, when you are in the PMA, the present moment awareness, when you are truly present, it's not that we stop the mind. We cannot stop the mind because that's its job to be active. It's an activity after all. But when you are in the present, your mind is there with you as a companion, as a power, as a tool. Doesn't it feel like the mind is powerful? Haven't you at times felt like your mind is extremely active? Wouldn't you like to harness that power for your well-being? This is entirely possible. This is why we are here today. So when you are present, some of the benefits that you will experience is that you have this calm. Feel some breath management, which is crucial. When you are present, you have a feeling or a sensation or an experience of harmony, and your body becomes relaxed. If you go with the mental tendency of going to the past or the future, these benefits are gone. If you go to the tendency of the mind, you will notice the following. If you allow your mind to go to the future over, it's an anxiety constantly worrying about the future. Now, if you allow your mind to constantly go to the past, you will develop sadness, regret. You will develop that dullness of depression. When you're constantly in the mind, if an emotional event happens, since you are not present, you will not have the power to fully feel it and address it. So the emotion gets buried. There's no use. When you're in your mind, you're completely unaware of your breath, and therefore you miss out on the possibilities that your breath has for you. And tell me if this is true or not, but when you're in that mental state, you don't really feel that mental clarity. You don't feel that harmony. And I can also see easily in your body that when you're in your mind, your body's not relaxed. I can tell when someone is in their mind just by looking at them in an instant. If I put them in a yoga posture, like in a yoga class, if you've been physically with me in a yoga class, I can tell so much about you just by your posture, just by the way you move or don't move your body. But even outside of that, when I'm having a conversation with someone, I can see how their body becomes tense because they're in their mind. Anxiety and depression and hormonal dysregulation, as well as many other health challenges, are related to this lack of presence, which means being in a mental state. As one of my teachers would say, you either live or you think, not both at the same time. So what I want to teach you today can be challenging because I want to challenge your thought process. I want to challenge your mentality, your mindset, the way you're doing things, your lifestyle. Perhaps you could tell me, you know what, Mars, is just that I've already meditated. It's not for me. It's not for me because I get distracted, or, at home, nobody supports me. And, I try to meditate, but, there's so much going on inside. so many distracting thoughts. I try to meditate and I'm hearing all this music, all these songs. Try to meditate and there's an ant climbing up my arm and it's, there's always something happening outside or inside. Or I remember that I need to do this and that. Perhaps you have thought that yoga or meditation cannot be the tool for you because it cannot heal you, it cannot support you. Perhaps you have a false notion of what yoga and meditation can actually be, right? Perhaps you're already used to taking pills and meditation completely unreasonable. Medicine cannot heal you. It doesn't work that way. Medicine addresses symptoms, and by addressing those symptoms, it doesn't go to the cause. And not only that, you all know very well the financial cost of medicine, the allopathic medicine. And you also know that any pill that you take is affecting your organs, at the very least, your kidneys and your liver, not to mention your stomach, your brain, and your thyroid, and even more. Perhaps you're also telling me, perhaps this is also you, that you feel like you don't have support to have a new lifestyle in your life. Me or my husband doesn't support me, my partner, my family doesn't support me, or I don't have a space at home that I can do things with. But I'm here to tell you that all of this is about to fly out the window right now because you have a very powerful tool with you. You have a very powerful ability. And even though I learned it from yoga, we need to understand what yoga is. Yoga is not to sit with a rosary and lotus posture and meditate for hours. Yoga is not to do postures. The truth is that yoga, and this is in the ancient yoga scriptures, thousands of years old. The truth is that yoga is what we say in Sanskrit. Yoga, karmasu kaushalam, means yoga is to do actions intelligently, skillfully. If that is true, then you've been doing yoga all your life because there are things that you do in your life that are very skillful. Yes or no? That means that when someone's really good at something, they are doing yoga. So basically, they found the most intelligent way to approach diet, wellness, thought process. That's why, of course, they develop mantra, meditation, yoga postures, because anything that you do with your body has an influence in your health. Any sound that you do with your voice has an influence in yourself and in others. Every thought that you have has an influence in yourself and others. So yoga is intelligence. And according to the studies that I'm going to show you, like I said, I am in a group myself with yoga universities in India as one of the lead researchers in Latin America about the effects of stress in the body and the effects of the yoga practices to alleviate those stress with the most advanced scientific research. Scientific research, if you think about it, is yoga because it's doing so there's a lot about what is being taught in yoga that isn't actually what it is. Either veiled in complete obscure mysticism that is hard to understand and explain, or veiled in, yoga mats and yoga pants and all of that, that oftentimes is not as related to what yoga can be. But I want to show you this powerful tool that you have. So how does it work? How we are doing it is that we're going to use this very simple three-step process for your present moment awareness so you can feel immediate, great changes in your life. But I also need you to become very real and very aware of the effects of stress in your anatomy, because this, what I'm about to show you, and what I'm about to tell you is no joke. The effects of stress in the human anatomy are tremendous. Perhaps you have heard of this, but it is very important for you to view it in bigger and bigger perspectives. It's important for you to view it also as specific as possible to you and to those around you. Some people said, hey, when are you doing like a man's workshop? When is that coming up? Like, I want to talk about my prostate and such. Don't worry, that's coming soon. But for now, we're here with you, ladies first. There are studies that show, as you can see in the image, how the pectoral muscles, the muscles in your chest, become short and tight when you are in kyphosis. Kyphosis basically means that your posture is collapsed, like a hunchback. So if I show you here, that's when your chest collapses, your shoulders pronate, so they go up and forward like this, and your head goes forward. This is a posture that we associate with old people. Or rather, I should say that's not what we are used to associate with old people. But the truth is that more and more and more and more young people are suffering from this posture today with this forward head uh, syndrome, phone, tablet, computer, laptop, bike, car. To the point that you see these people standing, and instead of standing tall with their heart in their chest, open in the shoulder, neck, and a head and played on Instagram not long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. You cannot breathe properly. If you cannot breathe properly, you cannot oxygenate your brain properly. If you cannot oxygenate your brain properly, you are diminishing your ability to stay focused and to have positive mindset in your mind. Your brain becomes dull and weak. Not only that, when you have poor posture, women, you're limiting the space of your thyroid, and there's a direct correlation with kyphosis or bad posture. And thyroid gland, this beautiful butterfly-shaped gland that you have in your throat, is to you. That gland is the one that is responsible for keeping your hormones in check. So if that gland is being squeezed constantly by your neck because of a collapse, because of a bad posture, you're guaranteed to have more hormonal troubles. I love talking about this because as soon as I mention, hey, good posture, when I talk about this in person, people are immediately are like, oh, yes. I've had people who see me on the streets when I was teaching in Guadalajara at the beginning, who would see me on the streets, and as soon as they see me on the streets, they're like, oh, my yoga teacher, let me have a good posture. And I joke about this, but it's so vital it is for you. So the first thing that you should know today, before we even learn the three-step process, is how important is it for you to have a good posture. Now, let's talk about stress. I am not here to tell you that I'm going to eradicate stress from happening in your life. I cannot become your bodyguard and be there to protect you and strike down whenever I see stress. At least not yet. Though people say that in my presence they feel relaxed. And just yesterday, somebody from this group was saying how I can say something and they can feel like there's a shift. This image that you have right here is something called your cribriform plate, right? So if you look at this is the inside of the head, of course. There are these brush cone-looking nerves in between the nose and the brain. As some of you may know, your nose is extremely deeply connected with your brain. Did you know that? It's connected to something called the limbic system, which is the part of your brain that regulates your emotions. There's a part of your brain that regulates your emotions. There's biochemistry thrown out of whack when you're stressed. Like I said, we cannot evade stress. I myself, like I said, I've been doing this for 12 years. Do I get stressed? Of course. It's normal. But it is my responsibility, especially with the knowledge that I have, not to stay stressed. If I allow myself to be stressed, in the back of my mind, I know I have tools to deal with this. And it's my responsibility to keep myself open and relaxed. Because if I don't do that, if I'm stressed, I'm affecting everything else in my brain, everything else in my system. And that means I'm going to make myself more stressed tomorrow. So when thing that happens to you, when something shocking happens, what is the first thing that you do when something shocking happens? What is the first thing, the very first thing that you do when something shocking or impressive happens? You're walking with a cup in your hands, right? Suddenly you're about to drop it. You in. Something is addressing you. Ah, yeah, Colleen says it depends on the situation. Yeah, different situations we may have, right? But did you know that the first thing that is affected in your human anatomy when something shocking happens is your breath? Either you freeze your breath, you exhale, or you inhale in some particular way. Before you even shut down, before you even think about it, something happens to the breath. Stressful situations are inevitable. But if you keep that stress, you will tighten this area of your cribriform will not be properly stimulated. So the message that is going to come to these nerves is that of danger and tension. So these nerves are going to tell your brain, your pituitary gland, and your hippocampus, hey, we're in danger. So shut down hormonal production because survival is more important right now than reproduction and regulation. Right now is more about intensity. So only produce this kind of hormones, but not that kind of hormones. Give me some of this, give me some of that. Give me something that will keep me pumped up, not something that will keep me at peace. So literally holding tension in the body, in the skull, creates hormonal dysregulation. So this is very important because this hormonal dysregulation also what happens in this cribriform plate is that it'll affect that limbic system, which again is a part of your brain that regulates your emotions. Your brain has that beautiful capacity to regulate itself, full human capacity to regulate yourself, to be in harmony in the body. And today you're going to learn more about this and how to deal with this. Like I said, stress is inevitable, but you have the possibility of coming into presence, which is where you can learn to manage the stress. If you already have a diagnosis of some health situation, if you practice this constantly with discipline, you can start recuperating your health like you have no idea, because at the very least, you will stop making things worse constantly. So these nerves are incredibly beautiful, important in your life. Research, and I'm just going to browse through it. But if you're more interested in reading about this, please do let me know so I can send it to you. For example, about the deep link between anxiety and depression in women who are not in their optimal fertility. That the number one factor that affects fertility in a woman is anxiety, depression. They say, oh, there's hormonal dysregulation and obesity too. No, those are actually number 3 and number 4. Number 1, number 2 is anxiety and depression as the main factors of a woman not being able to be fertile. Some of you may say, I'm not trying to have kids right now. Yes, but the research shows, however, that you will be thrown out of order if you have anxious and depressive tendencies, which all come from stress, which all come from staying in that state of thinking about the future, anxiety, and thinking about the past, which is depression. Meaning you're not present. But if you become present, you deal with this and you are regulated, you're in harmony, no matter what age, no matter. This is the experience of hundreds of people. This is the experience of so many of our students, according to the research. There's also this fantastic research about the use of some of these hatha yoga practices for women who are actually trying to get some in vitro treatment, right? If you know anyone who's so willing and so full of desire to have children, to go as far as saying, what, let's try in vitro. If you know a couple like that, for sure they want to be parents, right? They're trying hard and they have probably tried so much to be parents. So there are studies now that show the benefits of reducing stress through yoga and how this supports women who are already trying to use in vitro treatment for fertility. Again, because of reduction of. So this also is going to show us a little bit of the effects of having forward head posture. Again, bad posture. It reduces your vital capacity, your respiratory capacity, and the capacity of your muscles for breathing, mainly your diaphragm, and it's also affecting your lung nodes. There's a lot of research on that, and I'm actually posting more and more about this on my social media in the upcoming weeks, where you can see just by having bad posture, again, you're affecting everything. You are designed to breathe deeply. And there's research that shows that breathing slowly, softly, and deeper actually spends less energy than breathing shallow and fast and yields more energy. Think about it this way. You can even do this practice now. Take the back of your hand like this, right? Do this with me. Take the back of your hand and take a finger. A tiny section of the back of your hand, and you put your finger in it. There's a sensation. What happens if you start rubbing that small section fast? If you start rubbing fast, in just a few seconds, can you feel how it becomes hot? There's friction. There's a different sensation. Now, if you let it go, if you did that, what happens if you do that all day long? Would you not actually bruise yourself? You will cut the skin, you will irritate it, yes? But what happens if you take that movement and you do it softly and slowly? You wouldn't bruise yourself. You would feel a different sensation. You're hurting less, and the sensation is much more pleasant. It becomes like a caress, right? So keep in mind also when you want to be touched or you want to touch someone, don't rub like this. That's not necessary all the time, right? Long strokes of soft touch are much more pleasant to the human anatomy, are much more better to influence the nervous system. The same thing happens with breathing in good posture, breathing in bad posture. When you're breathing with bad posture, your breath is fast and it's shallow. So you're spending more energy and creating less energy. When your breath is in good posture and it's slow and soft and deep, you're spending less energy and creating more energy. The more energy you have, the more oxygen you have, the healthier you are. That's literally how human anatomy works. Not how medicine wants to view it, Western medicine, but this is the way it is. The main component, as has been seen, is that this stress, this effect, the human anatomy, is happening in the brain. And it's mostly psychological and emotional. Mind and emotions. In yoga, mind and emotions are one and the same. You can see on the research, whether you research on your own or you can ask me and I can send you more. More and more we see that every single health problem that you have is affecting your brain, and then your brain is affecting it and making it worse. Why that's happening is because your mind and emotions are not regulated. Why that's happening is because you're not present. So if you are willing, if you are interested in being healthy, you need to address this. And today, we're going to practice this. Would you like to practice a way to start addressing this? Yes or no? You can tell me. Does that sound interesting to you? So let's practice this beautiful, easy three-step process. If there's one thing that you need to take away today, it's these steps. So you can start doing them. And like I said, so you have no excuse not to practice this. So let's do it. It's very, there we go. So how many times have you also realized that you have tension, you yourself in your face, right? That you didn't realize when you were tensing your eyelids, your jaw, your tongue in some way. But we could carry a lot of tension in the face. Yeah, you see it in other people. And then there's the third and final step, very easy. which is just to become aware of the breath. And that is where I will guide you, right? So step number one is the body. Step number two. So let's go ahead and take a little practice. So first thing you have to do, if you are comfortable, is you can close your eyes. And step number one is just to become aware of your breath. Excuse me. Meaning to accommodate the body. Let the body be comfortable, no tension. This also means to move or adjust the body. Step number two is to become aware of your face, your facial expression, and try to bring that relaxed expression on your face. Meaning not to assume that the face is already relaxed, but to consciously feel and even move or adjust the tongue to relax your face. It may even bring about a gentle smile. And step number three is to become aware of your breath. Breathe through your nose and notice the air coming in and the air coming out. When you consciously observe your breath, you are guaranteed to be in the present. You cannot observe the breath that is gone, and you cannot observe the breath that hasn't come yet. Just observe the breath in this moment. And yet you may perceive that the outer world and the inner world remain active. You may perceive sounds, sensations, scents, lights. You may perceive the mind and the emotions still active, creating distractions. And all of that is absolutely fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with you. But if you notice the attention going away, As soon as you realize, bring back the attention to the breath. Observe the breath, only the breath, and nothing but the breath. And if the attention goes away again, just bring it back as soon as you realize. As many times as needed, come back to the breath. And you may notice how the mind becomes calmer and calmer. The emotions become clearer and clearer. And as you start breathing deeper and deeper, the body becomes more and more relaxed. And take a deep breath. Keep your eyes closed for just a little bit longer. And bring the palms of your hands to one another until they are nice and warm, and cover your closed eyes for a moment. Feel the warmth of your hands. And gently, with a few soft blinks, you can open your eyes and slowly, slowly remove the hands. Very well. So this is the three-step process to achieve present moment awareness. Were you able to do it? Right? Number one in the chat, if you were able to do it. Right? Number one in the chat, if it felt good for you. Right? It's extremely easy, but guess what? There are actual present moment awareness, multiple ways. This is just one of them, a very simplified way to achieve that. Doesn't it feel amazing? And sure enough, you could say, oh, Mars, people sometimes tell me it's because your voice, you do this and that. Granted, I have trained my voice to do these things in a particular way, but I always say this in class. Not always, but whenever we have like a deep moment like this, when people feel good, when you feel good, it actually has nothing to do with the technique or the methodology. It doesn't have to do with you being in my workshop or my class. It actually doesn't even have anything to do with you. Feeling good is possible only because it is you. Feeling good, relaxed, conscious, and aware is your true state. It's your true nature. That's who you truly are. So it's your birthright, and I would say even your responsibility to be in that state, to be in that character. It is your responsibility to observe what is it in your life that is taking you away from it and keeping you away from it, and what is it that you need to start doing to stay into that deep state of awareness. It is possible. You literally just felt it. Granted, you need to practice. The research shows how being in that conscious state of awareness, focus, attention, meditation, FAM, yields so many benefits to your brain. It relaxes the body, the brain. Everything that I've talked about, the adverse effects of stress, can be dealt with this focused attention. So you have this possibility. It is a very, very real possibility for you. Time. So that it'll become real in your life, so that it'll become really, really present for you. Now, granted, before I go, there is no need to go to India to find peace. In the Spanish version of this course, I say a little joke here about peace being in Baja California, south in Mexico, but it doesn't work in English. So here's when you need to use your imagination and think of a very funny joke and be like, oh, you're so funny. So I leave that to you. So 10 minutes of present moment awareness is what the doctor ordered. By doctor, I mean our specialized anatomy teacher in India. If you can do this for 10 minutes every day, you can make so much difference in your life. Who doesn't have 10 minutes? If you do it twice a day, you have 20 minutes. You do it 3 times a day, you have 30 minutes. It's completely attainable. Of course, you can feel immediate benefits. But the more that you practice, the better. Because you're going to present again. I'm not present again. You walk all the way to the store, and by the time you get to the store, you have had 1 million thoughts. You're driving in your car, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, I'm driving a car, and I'm thinking about God knows who, saving the world in your mind. A beautiful, beautiful thought to have, but maybe not the best thought to have when you're driving. You're well on your way to creating so much benefit in your life. But like I said, this also works instantly, immediately. At any given point during the day, perhaps you're at work, you're about to board a plane, you're about to do this, you're about to do that. You can tell me, you know what, I don't have 10 minutes now, but you still have you and you still have your breath. You have this possibility. So you take a deep breath, you relax your body, you become aware of your body, you become aware of your face, and then you become aware of your breath. It takes 2 or 3 breaths. You can do it with practice, even in just one breath. Becoming aware instantly, faster even than any aspirin. So this is the possibility that you have. And I encourage you to practice it. So you can see the benefit that it has given, of course, me, but many, many people that have practiced this every day, and even people who are practicing with me today, nowadays, in the various sessions that we have. So this is some of the testimonials of people practicing this. Laura, she was in the session yesterday, actually, Laura. She suffers from severe case of fibromyalgia that has not been really treated by anything. You know, she's a woman who used to be very active, and then her body started feeling so much pain. Then she came to yoga, and just like practicing through this guidance, really, really changed the way she felt. And of course, Rosa, who has been working with me for a number of years, who suffers from some severe arthritis, incredible pain and lack of mobility in the body that has been really, really changed through the constant practice and her constant presence of being there. So this is the information that I have for you today. Now, like I said, at the end of the session, because we have reached the end of our session, you have given me your time, you have given me your energy. And like I said, you have a gift that you're going to receive for being in the presence of this workshop. But uh, one thing that I have to say is that I told you I'm going to give you one gift. The truth is that I need to ask you for an apology because I lied. I don't have one gift for you. I have three. I have three gifts that I will be giving you no matter what at the end of the session. I'm going to send you a link through which you can access this beautiful, beautiful benefit. But before we end that, before we do that, I want to ask you just one last favor before we go. Will you be willing to give me just 5 more minutes of your time this Saturday morning? You have graciously given me your time. Will you be giving me 5 more minutes? Write down number 1 in the chat for me to show you a program that we have developed that focuses on these and other practices to better your life in ways that are beyond what anything out there is. Thank you. So I am very excited to present to you in English for the very first time ever this outstanding program that includes many practices, and there is literally nothing alike this anywhere else. I call this program the queen of your life, because in case you haven't thought about it, you are meant to be the queen of your life. You are the master of your destiny, as I like to say, and this is your possibility. You are supposed to feel like the queen of your life. And this program is all designed for you to experience harmony in your personal, professional, spiritual life. Because as spiritual as I am, I have discovered how important it is to bring spiritual principles to life. And I'm sure you have felt it too. It is no use to meditate 10 hours a day if you're still, a terrible person out there. If you're not succeeding in your career, what is the use? This is meant to create harmony in your personal relationships and your professional life. It will give you more tools to focus and succeed as a woman who has a job and interests. And like I said, also your personal and spiritual life. So this is the possibility that I am offering through this amazing program. So there are many, many things that you can achieve through this. You will learn how to practice from the comfort of your home. This is very important because also it'll mean that you can practice from anywhere. And you can take my word for it because literally I practice anywhere. I literally travel the world and I practice. I board a plane, I do a practice. I get off the plane, I do a practice. I get to the place, I do a practice. I'm home, I do a practice. I'm walking, I do a practice. And you will learn so much about how to come into this awareness to regulate yourself constantly. And you yourself just now felt that you can do it, even though it's an online class. Some people tell me, oh, I'm not as comfortable with online stuff. Well, this is this possibility. You literally can do it. You literally just did it with me. And some of you are in completely different countries. Some of you are even watching this on a recording. So you will learn how to practice. And there are many, many tools I'll give you for that. You, of course, will be able to live. You will also need to practice on your own, right? Even though this 1 month program is meant to give you so much, you need to practice on your own. If you don't practice on your own during a month, it doesn't matter if we meet 4 or 8 times. If you don't develop a daily practice, this will not have that deep lasting effect. So you will learn how to practice every day, as ambitious as that may sound. You will also feel immediate effects. It just took me 1 hour to tell you so much today, but I'm also keeping in mind telling you about my story, and I'm humoring you in some ways, telling a few jokes. I'm telling you about programs and things, but I will teach you practice down to business directly so you can. You will also see effects, even though it's a 1 month program, effects of this in 3 weeks in your body. You will also see effects of this in your emotions and your mind, but you will feel how your body is extremely different through the specialized yoga practices that are developed for the female anatomy. You will also be able to practice with myself, which is, a highly qualified professional with all the credentials that I have showed you, and even more scientific backing, like I said, of everything that we are researching nowadays about yoga. And one very important thing that I am really happy to present in this group is that it will allow you to increase your connections with other women who want to pursue life in a more holistic, expansive way, looking at professional, personal life with a spiritual perspective. If you have been working on yourself, you are very well aware that the more conscious you become, the more honorable you try to be, the more healthy, noble you try to be, people who are used to seeing you in a different light will challenge that. So many times when you're trying to evolve, some people will fall off. Some people will not stay with you. This is inevitable. There are, however, people that will stay with you because they are more than ready to see you in a new light. And you also are ready to be seen by them. So they will always encourage you and always support you. This is the kind of people that you want in your life. And it is true that as we evolve, the more we evolve, the more we lose certain members of our community that were not meant to be there. So in this session, I will create systems so you can also connect with other women who are on the same path as you, because it is not fair that we evolve and we stay alone. We are meant to connect way beyond, and that is a possibility that I have. So what does this program include? It is 1 month of weekly group sessions where you will learn about well-being. You will learn some of the science and these tools that will give you focus for prosperity in your relationships, meaning in short terms, group sessions with me once every week. You also have access to a private group, a private WhatsApp group where you will receive daily motivation. You'll be in communication with a group of other women like you, as well as more information to support ourselves in our practice. And it is in that WhatsApp group where we will host certain dynamics to keep the group active, and that you will see how such a powerful effect it can have in keeping the practice up. And of course, you will also receive guide to establish your well-being practice. So this very important thing here is that if you feel that you have a lack of harmony between your personal life and your work life, this is for you. If you feel you can increase that harmony, that you want more tools to address that, this is for you. If you feel like you don't have enough tools or you want more tools to manage stress in your life, this is for you. If your shoulders turn some tensions through your practices, that means that this is for you. If you wake up and you're feeling some tension, some back pain, some things that should not be there, your neck and your hips and your back, maybe you already received a medical diagnosis, this is for you. This is the program that has been designed. Are the people who I've been working with throughout all these years. So you will also receive more tools to live in alignment and in accordance with your purpose in life. So this program, however, will not be for you if you want to just have an immediate change in your life without trying to make an effort in your life, if you're not really willing to practice and make it lasting. It's also not for you if you I misspoke. This program is for you if you are willing to work for this program, if you are already aware of how important it is for you to care for your own health, mental, physical, and emotional, and you want to implement more. No, the less you care about yourself, truly, what's really happening there is that you're being extremely selfish. It doesn't matter what role you have as a woman in your community. If you are not in your optimal position, people are needing to show up for you in more ways than one. There is no child that does not worry about their mother's health. There is no mother that does not worry about their daughter's health. So you not being in an optimal state, you may not know this, you may not be ready to admit it, but it's actually extremely selfish. Being healthy, being prosperous, being wealthy, being in peace is the most selfless act of love. Once you are there, then you support the others, not before. And of course, this what sort of circumstances you may be facing. If your circumstances are your master, this program is not for you. So it is, however, like I said, not for you if you want to stay as you are. As I say, staying as you are means getting worse. Staying the same is getting worse. There's no way to get better. Absolutely no way to get better by staying the same. You can hear me talk more about this on Instagram, where I had a video I posted a reel where I'm talking about this morning. You also should not join my program if you do not recognize the value of your own life. And you should also not join my program if you expect things to work magically for you. And like somebody else like me will do all the heavy lifting, because I will not. If you want these immediate lasting effects to really be with you, you need to do the work. I will show you how, but you are the one who needs to do it. So this therapeutic yoga course is valued at 360 American dollars. That individual diagnostic session and placement session you will have with me, as well, is valued on $91, which is when you will meet with me one-on-one, and we will see specifically how we need to model the program for you, tailored specifically for you, where you are, where you want to go, and what kind of conditions or circumstances you're facing or emotion. You will also you will also receive my daily support and motivation on this group for one whole month. That's valued at $19. And you will have access to yoga practice guides, meaning that you will have an incredible access for 1 month to every single yoga and meditation class that I offer. So additionally, accountability, I realize, is such an important thing. And there is this fantastic methodology called body doubling, which you may have heard about. This methodology, which I will teach you all about it, which I will teach you how together we are doing it as a group, will support you in creating a system so that you can practice what I will teach you in this course every single day. Because I know you may say, you know what, I can't, Mars, I can't practice every day. With this system, with my support and the support of every single amazing woman in this group, you will achieve this possibility. You will support one another. So basically, I'm telling you that in this group, you are guaranteed to practice every day. You know very well that if you practice every day, you are bound to succeed no matter what. And I want to realize that possibility for you. This is everything you obtain in this program: the body doubling, the access to my yoga practice, daily support and motivation, individual diagnosis, and therapeutic yoga course. This is every single thing that is included in this amazing course, but also, like I said, it is not fair that we do all this work and we don't have an amazing community around us. So it will also include an amazing spiritual networking session, which I will explain later. Basically, it's a session where you will get to meet these amazing women who will be there for you and support you in more ways than one. It is a beautiful, beautiful networking possibility, both personally and professionally. And I am really, really excited to introduce this as well to you as a possibility. The total of this course is a value of $1,201, the whole enchilada. However, I want you to think about what these things are worth for you: physical, mental, and emotional well-being, harmony in your professional life while you're succeeding, and in your personal life as well. How much is it worth to you to practice an authentic yoga with scientific backup that is designed for you to better your life? And how much would it be worth for you to meet an amazing community of women like yourself? Because if you are here together, it cannot be a coincidence. This is the value of this course. This is a whole possibility that we have for you. But even though it has this real value of 1,200 and I think it was $1 or $7, maybe I've got the number wrong there. You that are here in my workshop, you that belong to my close community, you who are watching this recording, and because we are just launching this program for the very first time, you can obtain this program for $197. This will be the only time that I'm launching this program like this, because as you may know, as a company from Siendo Yoga, we are transforming and we are growing. It is no longer just me teaching, but now we're bringing in more and more people to become part of the team. And we're very seriously building this company to take it to the next stage as a wellness company that will deliver programs like this and even greater. At that point, since we are pushing so hard our boundaries, we are expecting to launch this on a second and third edition with that real value and those real possibilities. But you are here first, and you are here first for a reason. You belong to this community or to someone around me in some way. So we want to offer this to you at this amazing cost of $197, which you can call as an introduction cost. But that is not all. This program going, because we want to start as soon as possible with you. This program that has been developed for you. We have a quick action bonus, but it's only for the next 48 hours. That's why it's quick action. And it's only for 3 people that we will do it for $97. Only for 3 people. And we already have one person who is actually very interested on signing up on this already. So if you want to join this program, you need to send me a message right now on WhatsApp so that I can take you into account and I'll guide you through the steps to sign up. And you'll have one of the 3 only 3 people can receive this, and it's only within the first 48 hours. When we launched this in Spanish, last night actually, we also did the same methodology, and all 3 spots were taken immediately, even before we finished the session, and some other people sign up as well. So we are also launching this in some other platforms. So if you are interested, please send me a WhatsApp message or an Instagram message right now so we can take you into the account. Present, which is a beautiful wellness program that was developed again with a lot of scientific backup that is designed and recorded to support you. This program that you will receive as a gift is called Breath of Life, and it's amazing sessions that you can take for free. You're going to receive a link that you can use it all in, and you will have access to it for the posterity. It's a beautiful, beautiful program. So it's ready for you. I will be messaging you all to get the link so you can get your program. It's beautiful, easy to practice program that will guide you to do practices similar to what we did today, but more focused on the depth and the possibilities of your breath. Beautiful, beautiful Breath of Life program that will give you 12 to 15 days of daily practice. And in that program alone, you will already see the power and the value of this. So I am very excited to give you that program as my gift to each and every single amazing woman that is here with us today. And just before we go, I want to tell you that you have 2 options today. You can stay as you are. Staying as you are is staying worse. It's getting worse. And it will mean not accessing this possibility and your deepest possibilities. Or you can start today. The path of transformation that you deserve in your life. This next stage of your life could start in 2 weeks because we're starting the program in 2 weeks. So take this quick action. I want to thank you all, each and every single one of you, so much for being here today. Before we close, please do let me know if you have any thoughts or any questions, and I'll be more than happy to support you. Anybody have any questions? Anything they want to share about what they experienced in their session? Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to each person also watching the recording. And that is all that we have today. Feel free to message me, and I look forward to chatting with all of you soon. As I always say, at the end of each session, remember this: be healthy, be happy, and absolutely don't worry. Namaskar, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Take care.